What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of me giving unsolicited advice. That's literally what all my girl talks are. Like, no one asked, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. It's 6 p.m., 6:40 to be exact, and I have a full face of makeup, and that's because I wanted to film this girl talk in a different way. I felt like filming it in the evening would set the mood more than if I filmed it like in the afternoon. That was my original plan. I was gonna film it in the afternoon, but I was like, no, let's do it differently this time. I'm also not gonna be doing my makeup this time. Anytime I filmed the girl talk in the past, I was doing my makeup. Kind of wanted to just have a sit down girl talk, like a proper sit down where I just like sit down and do nothing and not like move around. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna go about this video this time. Also, I have a mic. I got a mic recently and I'm really afraid that in the end I'm gonna end up with no audio. So let's just pray. We pray that I get proper audio from this mic, because like currently there's noise around me, but the mic I bought should kind of like only focus on my voice, yeah. So I'm really hoping this works, because if it doesn't work, it's either we don't get output or we get output that has music in the background, because there's like an event going on somewhere around here and they're playing music for the whole world. It's not just for them, it's for all of us. So hopefully we get proper audio. I wrote down the questions that I want to talk about today, and the way I did it, I took the questions you guys gave me on Instagram and formed topics from those questions. So like instead of answering like individual questions, I'm going to be talking about specific topics. I felt like that would be better and it will make the video more organized. So yeah, I currently have questions right here. Hopefully I can go through all of them and I don't end up not doing some of them. Also, because I'm trying to make the video a bit shorter, I'm hoping the fact that I'm not doing my makeup is gonna make the video shorter. So yeah, hopefully that's the case. Yeah, hopefully I don't end up having a lot to say. I could actually end up talking about a particular topic more than the other, making the video long. Alrighty, so one of the questions I received quite a bit since I finished university, is what it's like working. And honestly, I never knew how to answer this question, because I was just checking if I had lip gloss on my lip, because like the lip gloss is brown. So okay, I don't know, I think once you get into it, you realize how normal it is. Like, it's literally just like having any other responsibility. The same way, I don't know if it's just me, but before I got into university, I did not know what to expect. But once you get into it, you kind of just get used to it, I guess. And it's the same thing as working. Working is another responsibility you're taking on. I think for me, the one thing that has changed since I started working, it's still changing, is I'm kind of being pushed to have more extroverted tendencies. And this is because, like, if I go for an event, I'm gonna meet other people who are in the industry and I'm gonna want to form connections with them, yeah? And to do that, I have to speak to them. So the fact that I'm being pushed to talk to people more and, like, you know, wanting to learn from people who've been in the industry longer than I have, I'm being pushed to have to speak. Maybe because of this whole content creator thing, I seem like an extrovert, but that's literally because I'm speaking to a camera. It's an object. I'm speaking to a camera. In person, I'm the quiet one. I think the one comment I receive when I meet people for the first time is, you're really quiet, or you don't speak much. But now that I'm in a work environment, and the fact that I make calls to people from other companies as well as the company I'm in right now, the fact that I attend events, and at these events I meet people who are in the same industry, like, just that fact, it's pushing me to be a bit more extroverted or to have more extroverted tendencies. It doesn't mean that I'm now an extrovert. It's just that I'm able to push myself to be able to like be seen and be heard. I think that's one of the main things that has changed ever since I started working. Like the fact that I can now start a conversation, because I'm usually just not the person who starts conversations, but I feel like as I continue working, I can feel that changing. And I don't know, I'm kind of proud. Like y'all, even picking up a phone to make a call used to be a lot for me. And I was those people who would never want to be the one ordering at a restaurant. Like I'm gonna want someone else to do it. Yeah. So that's like one thing I've noticed changing, and I'm happy for myself and I'm glad. Is there anything else that has changed? I don't think so. Like with me, I don't think so. But obviously things like the kind of responsibilities I'm taking on now are completely different from the responsibilities I had in school. Definitely. Another question I got actually was if being in tech is hard, like if it's difficult. And I answered it on my Instagram. Thought about it for a while before I answered it. But I think everything has its own difficulties. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's easy. I don't think anything in life is easy. Everything has its own like issues or challenges or difficulties. And what I wrote on my Instagram is we usually find a way to deal with the difficult parts, yeah? We don't give up. We find ways to deal with it. And it's the same thing with tech, yeah? Tech has its difficult parts. Like some parts are gonna be challenging, some parts are gonna be easier than others. Just a matter of finding out like how we're gonna deal with the parts that are a bit more challenging and how we're gonna work through them or around them. No, through them. That should actually be another topic. Should we work through difficulties or should we work around them? What do you guys think? I'm actually curious what y'all think. Like, should we work through our problems or around them? Or should I just Google it? Let's see what Google says. Or around a problem. Or is it gonna give me like from a grammar perspective? Okay, it doesn't have an answer. Because in my mind, working through it is like actually trying to find a solution, and working around it is like trying to avoid it. That's what my mind thinks. I don't know, I could be wrong. Y'all can tell me actually. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's move on. I got 2 questions to do with friendships. The first one was what to do when you feel yourself drifting away from your friends, or you feel like you and your friends are like drifting apart, and what to do when you feel like your friends make you feel left out. Those are the 2 questions I got under this topic, and I think I can talk about them. The one thing I've realized as I get older is people grow in very different ways and very different directions. You could be clicking with a friend or friends right now, but as time goes by, you feel like y'all don't have the same likes or interests, or you feel like your lives are just going in different directions. But there are those friends, like I have friends that I've been with since I was literally in kindergarten. Till date, nothing has changed. Like our closeness, nothing has changed. So I think as you grow, drifting away from some friends, I think is normal. I think it's normal. And I don't think it should be viewed as something negative. Like there's like no drama, nothing happened between you guys. You just don't click the same way you used to. I don't know. I literally don't see anything wrong with that. And I believe some people are put in your life for like a specific season. And there's some people who've been put in your life to like teach you certain lessons and to like help you at that point in your life. But as you grow and as you move from that like chapter of your life, things are gonna change. Just the same way, this is gonna be so cliche, but just the same way in a book, one chapter is never the same as the other. The same thing as life, things change. I tend to not want to overthink it or view it as a bad thing when I have friends that I was really, really close with at one point, but things just change. But you could also like talk to them about it and see how they're feeling. If they feel the same way, you could talk to them about it. Talking things out actually helps a lot. I don't personally do it, but you could try talking things out. Just not something I would do. Now I'm playing. The second question, the whole what to do when you feel left out by your friends. Have conversations with these people, yeah? Let them know how you feel, because people are not just supposed to automatically know how you feel, yeah? You could be feeling something, but the other person is completely oblivious and they have no idea what's going on. It's not their responsibility to know what we're feeling all the time. You're gonna have to communicate some of your feelings, yeah? Once you've communicated how you feel, at least this is what I would do. If I come to you and I tell you I'm feeling this and this and this, and I feel like I'm not being heard, or I'm not being listened to, I'm not gonna force it. Yeah, I don't force things. Make that a boundary. Make it a boundary. Make it known that I'm not willing to be treated this way in a friendship, because that's not what a friendship is. I really don't think that's what friendship is. It's just better if I pull myself away and focus on people who make me feel included, you know? You know that quote, you teach people how to treat you? I think it applies in this situation 100%, because if you just sit there with your feelings, then they're gonna think it's okay, and it's not. So, yeah. Now, tell me why I'm feeling so hot. This is one topic I never fail to have every time I put up that ask me a question thing, or anytime I want to do a girl talk. There's always the whole relationships and dating thing. And I think the main question I'm asked is why I'm still single, or why can't I be single? Like, if you can answer why can't I, then I'll answer why am I. Like, why is being single looked at like something that's like I'm missing something in life? Like, me being single is me lacking, you know, like I'm lacking in a certain area in my life. When people make comments like, you're too pretty to be single, that's not a compliment. I know you're trying to make it a compliment, but it's not. And I usually don't take it. It's similar to when a person says, you're pretty and you're smart, question mark. That's not a compliment. That's literally not a compliment. So I think what we really need to talk about is not whether I'm single or not, how much it takes to actually be in a relationship. Relationships are not always gonna be sunshine and roses. It's gonna be storms and clouds sometimes. For me, getting into a relationship, I'm not just gonna go into one just because. My last relationship was in 2019, and I think the one thing I told myself when that relationship ended was I was not gonna rush to get into another one. Because relationships take a lot of effort. And I promised myself I would be very, how do I put it, intentional with my single time, or my singleness. Like, the amount of time I was gonna spend being single, I was going to be very intentional with it. And by that I mean I was gonna take that time to really, really learn who I am as a person, feed into myself, learn myself. It's very weird. It's a very weird concept, how you could be yourself but not really know yourself. So I decided I was gonna take that time to really know who I am, what I like, what I don't like. For me personally, I'm not really in a hurry. It's gonna happen. When it happens, I'm just gonna let the universe do its thing and, you know, enjoy my space in the meantime. This topic, I included it myself. I didn't really receive any question. Did I? I don't think so. I don't think I received any question on self-love, but I included it because for me, what self-love is to me has changed a lot. I think for me, I've always considered self-love buying myself gifts, so taking myself on dates, and journaling and like reading affirmations and all of that, but that has really changed for me this year. To me, self-love right now means doing what I know I need to do, even though I don't want to do it. That has been self-love for me this year. I think this is the year when I've made very, very drastic changes to my life. A lot of aspects of my life, a lot has changed. since the beginning of the year. I've had to do certain things that I've always avoided or not wanted to do because I knew it was what was best for me. So for me, when I think about self-love, it's not that I don't consider it these things anymore. I do still think self-love is taking yourself out on dates, buying yourself gifts, pampering yourself, reading your affirmations, doing what you need to do to feel good, but it's also doing what I know I need to do because I know it's what's best for me. Really simple things like the fact that I stopped taking dairy because it was hurting my stomach. I feel like that's actually a form of self-love because it's like you're telling your body, yeah, I hear you and I know you're not feeling comfortable with this. So I'm gonna look for alternatives that are more like comfortable, but you can still like enjoy what you want to enjoy. Kind of weird that I'm talking about my body in the third person, isn't it? It's not just reading my affirmations in the morning and then for the rest of the day, I'm ignoring myself. You know, it's not just, yeah, until 10 a.m. we're gonna practice self-love and then from 10 a.m. we're gonna be self-destructive. But then again, it's not that I'm trying to live a perfect life. This is another topic that I put here myself, and the reason why I put it is because once I became aware of it, I did everything I could to escape it. Did everything I could to unlearn it, to just stop doing it. I'm one person who does not like confrontation. Like I will avoid it. I'll avoid anything I have to do to avoid confrontation. I'm gonna do it. But what I realized I was doing was I was finding myself in spaces or situations that I didn't want to be in, and I was only there because I was afraid. I'd find myself a lot of times saying yes when I really wanted to say no. It's just not something that I'm willing to do anymore. If I want to say no, I'm going to say no. And this obviously doesn't mean things like my responsibilities. Responsibilities are responsibilities and I'm gonna go through them. I think if you ask anyone right now, they'll tell you if Makena says no, it's a no. I'm not afraid of what a person is gonna think. I realized that a lot of the times the reason why I was upset is because I was saying yes to things I had to say no to. I didn't want to be doing things out of fear anymore, like fear of what other people will think or fear of what other people would say. That's not something I'm willing to like do anymore. It's such a bad way to live, like to constantly be in fear of what people are gonna say or think. I don't know why I didn't realize it. I don't know what point I realized it actually, but when I realized it, I became very aware of it. If you live constantly thinking about what people are gonna think or say, you're not really living authentically. You're living according to what you think people want to see, yeah? And I am not willing to do that anymore. I'm gonna have to unsubscribe, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's really, honestly not an authentic way to be living because you're not living the way you want to, you're living the way you think other people want you to live. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not gonna do that anymore. And that's literally what people pleasing is. You end up living a life that you don't actually like, but a life you think other people will like, and then you end up being really sad. So I think for me, that's just, yeah, you're not gonna have to leave me out of that one. Y'all, I think I've talked enough. It's been 2 hours, I'm tired. It's time for me to wrap up this video. Or do you guys want me to add one more topic? You know, in school, when you think the lecturer or the teacher or whatever was done speaking and they say next point and you feel like you're going to collapse, should I do that? Should I add one more point and be that lecturer? Anyway, now I think I'm done. I think I'll do this more often. Just like sit down and speak and do nothing else. I think I should. I probably won't, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. Come on. Subscribe and like and share. Share with your friends. Let them know. Let them come on here and get advice they never asked for. Maybe they'll actually need it. Maybe they need to hear some of the things I said in this video. You never know. So share it. Sharing is caring. Anyway, I will see you in my next one.